reviewing the Tesla Model 3 a couple of months ago, I absolutely fell in love with the car. The driving dynamics, the minimalistic yet modern streamlined interior, and the unparalleled instant acceleration make the Model 3 one of the best daily drivers out there. In fact, when I reviewed the dual motor performance version, I even thought it was more fun to drive than a BMW M3. But no car is perfect, and one specific problem has arisen with the Tesla Model 3 that's kind of a big deal. Recently in the Bay Area, there has been a rampant increase in Model 3 break-ins, and they are all happening in the exact same way. Thieves are using a simple 3-step process to break into the Model 3 and steal your stuff without getting caught. So I'm gonna show you exactly how they're doing that and how to best prevent anyone from actually breaking in using this method. The Model 3 alarm only goes off if the car is locked and the doors or the trunk are opened from the inside. That means if the windows are smashed, no alarm goes off whatsoever. The way they're breaking into the car is actually quite smart. I imagine one person figured this out and then it spread amongst the community, but it's amazing how many Teslas in parking lots, sometimes 3, 4, 5 Teslas in a row in the same parking lot on the same night, and no other cars are touched, are broken into in the same way. So thieves are checking out this quarter panel window right here. If you smash this window, it doesn't shatter in the same way that the much larger window does. It just makes a nice little puncture hole if you attack it right here. It also makes a heck of a lot less noise. So what's the point of smashing this small window? Well, right on the other side of it is the latch to fold down the rear seats. Now, since there is no lock on the rear seat latch, that means you can easily gain access to the trunk. So you smash this window. I'm not gonna do that, obviously, on this car. And then you're easily able to reach your hand in to right here, fold down the seats, and then see into the trunk itself. If there's laptops or valuables, then the thieves are smashing this second window and then climbing, reaching into the car and grabbing it without an alarm going off. These break-ins are so frequent that it actually happened to this exact car, which is owned by my uncle, less than a week ago. Thieves unfortunately broke into the car using the same method and stole his bag as well as laptop. As the break-ins are getting more and more frequent, if you have a Tesla Model 3 and you live in a major city, what can you do to prevent this? Well, for one, because the car is electric, you have a trunk in the front as well as the back. Now, there is no way to get into the front trunk without serious effort. I mean, you'd need to have a crowbar, or without setting off the alarm. So if you're carrying a laptop or valuables, just store them in the front trunk. Now, there are another couple set of options as well. Another solution, if you are parking somewhere, particularly at nighttime in the city, this is something a lot of Tesla owners are now doing, is folding the rear seats down preemptively. This means you can't have anything in your trunk, unfortunately, which renders it almost entirely useless, but it could save you some money. Tesla owners were reporting an average of $1,300 to fix the 2 windows when they were smashed. Some people were even paying almost $1,000 just for this window alone. But there's no reason for somebody to smash your window in hopes that there's something in the trunk if you fold down your seats and they can see that there's clearly nothing actually in there. Tesla could pretty easily solve this problem in 2 different ways. One, the most simple, would be to have a lock available for the rear seats so that they can't fold down if somebody just breaks in. Potentially either lock when the car itself locks with the key fob or the iPhone app, or a standalone key. Once that became known that the trunk was locked, then thieves would no longer start breaking into Teslas. Another option would be a motion or shock sensor. If the car actually detected the presence of somebody inside the vehicle instead of just opening doors or the trunk, or it noticed that the car was jolted or there was a loud noise, and then it set off an audible alarm, it would be a massive deterrent. Because this window is small, it's pretty easy and inconspicuous to walk up next to it and smash a little window and reach your hand in just to peer inside of the trunk. But if an alarm went off, then, well, everyone around would be noticing. Interestingly enough, Tesla has just come out with 2 aftermarket options for the Tesla Model S as well as the Tesla Model X, called the anti-theft upgrade. It actually is a unit that bolts into the headliner seamlessly that is a motion detector, and it goes off if somebody were to break into the car. Interestingly, when I called the Tesla service center, this is so new that they're not actually installing them yet. And when you go online on Tesla's website, it seems like the majority of the colors for different interior colors, because it has to match, are all sold out. It costs $350, uses advanced active sensor technology, but if you can't install it in your vehicle, then it's a little bit useless. And right now, they don't have one available for the Tesla Model 3. So I believe, hopefully, with the recent amount of break-ins, Tesla is going to do something for Model 3 owners, but only time will tell. Something a lot of people don't know exists in their Tesla Model 3 is the presence of this tiny little interior camera right above the mirror. In fact, it wasn't really talked about at all, and it does nothing as of yet. So what is the point of this camera? Well, apparently it's all part of Elon Musk's plan for this ultimate ride-sharing program. Because the Tesla Model 3 platform in its current software configuration is technically able to be updated to be fully autonomous, they want to use Model 3s in kind of a ride-sharing Uber platform. So check this out. It's actually really genius. You use your Tesla Model 3 5 to 10% of the day, if that. While you're at work, the Tesla Model 3 is just sitting there. What if the Tesla Model 3 could actually drive itself, pick people up, drop them off at destinations, just like Uber, and then return itself to work on time for you to drive it home? That way you can actually recoup some of the finance or lease costs of actually owning the Model 3, effectively making it either free or you could actually earn money. Now, what's the point of the camera? Well, apparently it's for monitoring occupants in the interior. Now, sources say that it is currently deactivated. I sure hope so, because it would be really weird if I'm being filmed right now without my knowledge. And that brings up privacy concerns with the actual filming. You must be notified when you're doing the Tesla ride sharing that you're being filmed. But if anything happens, like somebody decides to pull off your screen or smash some windows or vomit in the car, well, it's gonna be recorded in the future. And that is pretty cool. Now, because of the presence of this mysterious camera, something that I'm surprised they haven't implemented is making the camera a dash cam. Think about how easy and simple that would be, and it would prevent crime. If that little camera could operate when the car was off, just like the majority of dash cams nowadays work, the car is bumped or detects motion, the camera starts recording, and you can capture any thieves that try to steal stuff from your car. Then as it becomes known that Teslas have built-in dash cams, they're probably going to be the least likely to be broken in vehicles on the planet. Right now, because of that easy method and because Teslas are higher end vehicles, I imagine thieves are assuming that you will have higher end valuables inside the car. There's not too many deterrents for breaking into Teslas. Now, apparently they have solved the GPS issue where people were able to steal Teslas remotely and then shut off the GPS information that was sending signals back to the user's app. Now it requires a password and username and makes it a little bit more difficult to steal. So the police can, in fact, track the GPS to the location of where the car is stolen. But if this used simple dash cam technology, like you can buy for $200 or $300, it would also be advantageous because you can't steal it. Now, a dash cam, I'm thinking, sure, it films somebody breaking into your car, but then you could simply also steal the dash cam. Then you wouldn't have any of the footage. But you're not gonna be able to steal the built-in dash cam in the front windshield of the Tesla. Speaking of dash cams, with the latest software update, Tesla is actually allowing you to use the front camera as a dash cam. So if you get yourself a USB, create a folder on that USB called Tesla Cam and format it the right way and stick it in one of the two frontal USB ports, up on the big screen pops a little dash cam icon. You can also click a button to store the last 10 seconds in case you got into an accident. Although 10 seconds doesn't really seem like enough time. Chances are by the time you've gotten into an accident and thought, oh wow, it's time to click the button on my dash cam screen for the Tesla, it's been way more than 10 seconds. It's also really unfortunate that it doesn't have any rear visibility because, well, that's not gonna help deter thieves at all, and you really need more coverage than just the front camera provides. But it is a step in the right direction. Someday they should have every single one of the cameras combined hooked up to a USB drive so you can get every single angle. It doesn't seem like it would be that challenging to do. With all of the cameras throughout the Tesla Model S, you would have the best dash cam setup of any car ever. The Tesla Model 3 has had its fair share of problems in 2018 unrelated to the break-ins, which is unfortunate because it is such a good car. I'm driving this just around the city. It feels so nice. It's spacious in here. It's a lot more affordable than the Tesla Model S and really gives you everything you need in a practical car. And you don't have a large gas bill every single month. But because it's so cool, way too many people want them and Tesla can't keep up with the orders. By the end of 2017, they were supposed to be making 5,000 Tesla Model 3s per week. Instead, it took them till June of this year to reach that 5,000 mark. And when they did, they started to run into quite a large amount of issues. Interestingly enough, Elon Musk said that part of the problem is due to too much automation, too many robots, too many complex conveyor belts, and not enough humans. He stated that humans are actually underrated, which is a very interesting thing for him to say considering everything is about full autonomy. And having toured the Tesla factory, it is robots galore. It's actually in stark contrast as well to the fact that Tesla fired 9% of its employees in June of 2018 because apparently, according to Elon, there was a lot of redundancies. So not quite sure what he means then. If he needs more people, fired more people, I'm confused. Not only have there been production rate issues with the Tesla Model 3, there have also been some quality issues, countless quality issues as well. Apparently, according to some insider documents, 86% of Tesla Model 3s in June of this year had problems that needed to be fixed after production. That is crazy, 86% of them. Apparently, the average auto manufacturer gets 80% of the cars right, and only 20% of them require reworking after full production. With my E63, apparently that had an issue during production, and that got held up on the assembly line as well, although they would not tell me for the life of them what the problem was. Yes, the Tesla Model 3 and Tesla in general has had numerous problems, countless problems really, in 2018, but that does not mean they aren't producing amazing cars that aren't super fun when you mash the gas. Seriously, for a new manufacturer, they're doing a fantastic job. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of struggles when that many people want a car. It's amazing how they do essentially no marketing and capture such a large audience. It seriously is an absolute blast. None of these things I'm saying are meant to deter you from buying a Tesla Model 3, just to inform you of some issues that are currently going on. If you currently have a Tesla Model 3, just keep in mind if you are in those dense city areas that might have higher crime rates, especially in San Francisco, it is rampant right now, and the Model 3 isn't the only car that's a target. Obviously, there are other cars with fold-down rear seats where you can break the rear window, but it does happen to be happening in Tesla Model 3s at an alarmingly high rate. So there are some things to consider. Maybe don't leave your stuff in the trunk. Maybe drop those rear seats down so that people can see that there is nothing available in the trunk, because honestly, you should be able to enjoy your Tesla Model 3. But it is a bummer that you have to be worried about those problems. Hopefully, Tesla comes up with a fix soon enough. They can do that anti-theft device rework like they did in the X and the S and implement that into the 3. And I would love to see that interior mysterious camera worked in to being a dash cam eventually at some point. I think that'd be an awesome anti-theft deterrent. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.